Okay, boys and girls, welcome to this Unit 5 practice and review video. This was a very long unit, and unfortunately, this is going to be a long review, so we'll get right to it. Here we go. So one of the really big things we worked on in Unit 5 was multisyllabic words, which means words which have two or more syllables. Now, for most of the year, we've been working on words with one syllable, like cot. We put one scoop there, a brev over the short vowel, and a C because it was closed. Well, what we've done more and more of recently is have multisyllabic words like mascot. It takes two breaths to get that word out. Mass is one syllable, cot is the second, mascot. And we used a lot of multisyllabic words in this unit. So we talked a lot about multisyllabic words, and one very, very easy type is the compound words. That means words that are made up of smaller words. Look at this one, catfish. That's one word, but it's made up of two smaller ones, cat and fish. It's pretty easy to break this up into its smaller parts because we just break it up into the two small words that make it up. Cat, fish, notebook, weekend, snowman, snowball. All of those are compound words that have smaller words inside of them. Okay? Now, many multisyllabic words are not this easy to break up. Let's take a look at them. Okay, so now let's look at what we do when we have multisyllabic words that are not compound words. Here's what I mean. This word here is mascot. Now, mass and cot, that's not a compound word because mass is not a word. So what do we do? Well, you see those two pink letters, those two consonants? We're going to break the word up right between them. Okay? Because when there are two consonants between vowels, we split them. So we're just going to go right down the middle and break it up when we have two consonants like we do here, the S and the C. That's not that difficult, but then what do we do with a word like habit? Because look at that pink letter, a B. That's the only one. So where do we split it? Do we split before the B or after the B? Well, here's the rule in case you don't. And then, do you remember what we do with this? This word is pocket. And what's special here is that there are two consonants, but they're a digraph. And when there's a digraph between two vowels, it goes in the first syllable. So we have pock it. Okay? Pocket, jacket, and things like that. Locket. So think of the digraph. Even though it's two consonants, think of it as one, because that's what a digraph is. It's two letters that make one sound. Okay, we've covered almost everything except for this one here, children. Now, between the vowels, we have three consonants. Okay, so this one is a little. Okay, so in Unit 4, we learned these suffixes, es, like boxes, and s, naps, ed, wanted, ing, dancing, colder, est, coldest. Okay, these are the letters that we attach at the end of a word, and they change the meaning. We added a lot more suffixes in Unit 5, okay, like mint, shipment. Now you'll notice something that even though it's spelled with an E, it sounds like an I, shipment. NESS, like kindness and friendliness. And again, it's spelled with an E, but it sounds like an I. full, like helpful. And remember that with full, when it's a suffix, it's spelled F-U-L. But when we use it as a word like, oh, I am full, I ate way too much dinner, then it's F-U-L-L. So we have to be careful. If it's a suffix, only one L. L-E-S-S, like helpless. Okay, and there's another one spelled with an E, but it sounds like an I. Ish, like childish, which means kind of like a child. En, like freshen. Remember that when we use en, what we mean is we're making something a certain way. So if we quicken something, we make it quicker. If we freshen something, we make it fresher. If we brighten something, we make it brighter. Lots and lots of words use this one. And ABL. So with all the suffixes that we know now, and there are many, many more to come, we talked about one way that we could separate these into two groups. One was the vowel suffixes, and the other one. Now remember, these are not always suffixes. Sometimes those letters are just part of the word. So when we have the word childish, ish is a suffix. But in the word fish, okay, so that helps us when we start thinking about how these are marked. Let's take this word, helpful. Remember, we want to think about the base word first. In this case, the word is help. And if we want to, we can underline our blend, right? LP. And we scoop the syllable, help, okay? Because help is a one-syllable word. And it has a short E, okay? So it gets a brev, and we put a C underneath. It's a closed syllable. And then we circle the suffix, okay? Helpful. Marking words will be more useful later. We're learning how to do it now, but we're going to spend more time on marking later. It's going to be very helpful when we get to longer words. Now remember, we put a circle around the suffix. Okay, so in addition to suffixes, we also talked about prefixes, word parts that are added to the beginning of a word. Okay, and we added these prefixes. Miss, like in the word misspell, which means wrong or bad. Un, as in the word unkind, which means not. Non, as in the word non-stop, which also means not. And dis, like in the word disobey, and dis also means not. Okay, so that's pretty convenient. And trans, like in the word trans-American, which means across. If you're going on a trans-American trip, you're going across America. Okay, so prefixes, and there will be many, many more, go at the beginning. And all of these, this is pretty convenient. Okay, and we've also learned about the ick sound. Now remember, when we talk about one-syllable words, we use ICK, like trick, kick, stick, pick. Okay, and we added to the vowel teams, or as we sometimes call them, the vowel digraphs, or the diphthongs that we've learned. Okay, we've got quite a big list now. Oh, so this time we added the AW sound. Okay, and we had AW as one of them, like in the word saw, or lawn, crawl, and claw. And remember, AW can go anywhere in a word. We also had AU, like August, fault, author, and sauce. Okay, and we learned these 6 trick words: against, new, no, always, often, and once. Okay, now let's practice some of these new words that we've learned with prefixes and suffixes and so on. Your first one is sadness. Sadness. She felt great sadness at the end of the story. Okay, and think about the base word. You ready? Here it is. Okay, it's just the word sad and our new suffix. Your next one is unselfish. Unselfish. An unselfish person does not think of himself or herself first. They put other people first. Unselfish. Think about the base word, and I'll give you a hint. This one has a prefix and a suffix. Are you ready? Here it is. Okay, what's the base word? It's self. Your next one is fantastic. Fantastic. The fireworks display was fantastic. Everyone enjoyed it. Okay, pause to give yourself time. Are you ready? Here it is. Fantastic. And this one has no base word. This is just a 3-syllable word. The next word is misconduct. Misconduct. Misconduct is misbehavior. Okay, misconduct. Are you ready? Here it is. Conduct is the base word, and miss is the prefix. Your next one is a word that you've seen a lot this year. Edit. Edit. Many people enjoy doing the daily edit. Okay, here it is. The next one is actually a proper noun. It's the name of something particular. Atlantic. Atlantic, like the Atlantic Ocean, or Atlantic Avenue, or Atlantic City. Atlantic. Be careful with this one. Okay, here it is. Make sure you have that spelled with a capital A. Okay, Atlantic. And here's the last one. Invent. Invent. When you invent something, you create it. Invent. Okay, and here it is. Okay, boys and girls, I know you've got the brain power to invent things greater than anything we've seen before. So keep working hard, keep studying, and have a fantastic day. The end.